I heard still, I heard birth, I heard high, I heard risk. I went from healthy, normal, everything looks great. You're gonna have this baby on this date. She was supposed to be a Virgo. Mommy's doing fine. Everything's developing to high risk pregnancy in one doctor's visit. Welcome back to my channel, Mother Suckers. Hey, I am Eloho, your favorite YouTuber, 3.5 months postpartum. Yeah, I'm outside. I thought it was time for me to come on here and share my induction experience and my birth experience with you guys. Girl. So boom. So I'm pregnant. I'm glowing. I'm beautiful, right? I'm eating a ton and everything was going well. All of my appointments were great. My baby always had a great heart rate. Everything looked good. Baby always developing properly, looking amazing. And then one day I just started itching. Like my body just was itching. And I'm like, okay, I need to get in the shower. So I would shower more and I'm still itching. I'm like, okay, I need to change the bed sheets. I would tell my husband, listen, we gotta change these bed sheets. I'm itching, something not right. Change the bed sheets. And I looked up, is itching a pregnancy symptom? Yes, itchy skin can be a symptom of pregnancy. So at my appointments, I would say, I'm itching. I don't know if that's normal, but I'm itching. And they would say, oh, it's normal. That's normal. That's a normal symptom. And so every time I went to an appointment, I made a point to mention that I'm itching. They would say, is anything okay? Is everything okay? Do you have any questions about anything? And I would say, everything's okay, but I'm itching. And it's to the point where sometimes I can't sleep. Like it feels like things are crawling on me and I'm like, no. Another person said, oh, it's okay. That's a symptom, that's normal. I'm like, okay, cool. There was another appointment. Is everything okay? Do you have any questions? And I said, I'm still itching and I really don't know if this is normal, but you guys keep saying it's normal, but it's irritating to me. And I don't know if this is really normal, right? And so she said, let me do some blood work. Let me do some blood work, right? Long story short, I went from healthy, normal, everything looks great. Oh, you're gonna have this baby on this date. She was supposed to be a Virgo. Okay, my baby was supposed to be a Virgo. I was like, oh, Beyonce, I'm about to have your little Beyonce. My baby was supposed to be a Virgo, right? To high risk pregnancy in one doctor's visit. Come too far from where I started from. I can't give up now. I'm like, excuse me? Because of itching, I ended up developing cholestasis of pregnancy. Now, let me actually read what Google says. Cholestasis of pregnancy is a liver condition that causes severe itching late in pregnancy. Cholestasis temporarily lowers the liver enzymes in some pregnant people. This causes bile to build up in your liver and bloodstream. So one of the treatments is ursodiol, and another treatment is induction of labor. So why y'all didn't catch all of this when I was pregnant, when I was coming to all of these appointments, when I'm telling y'all these are my symptoms? Why nobody caught this before? And I will say, yes, it was a Black woman who decided to do the blood work that day and say, you know what? She's been complaining about these symptoms for her last 3-4 visits. Let's do some extra blood work. And then they found that, yes, I had cholestasis in pregnancy. And so thank God, she listened. Literally, you can't go full term when you have cholestasis. They said it's a higher chance of stillbirth. Yo, all the prayers, all the prayers on deck. I can't lose my baby. I need her. And I thank God that she's here with me. But yeah, so I found out I had cholestasis. I had to be induced. It was so stressful, but at the same time, I'm just like, we came this far. This baby coming out, this baby coming out alive and healthy in Jesus' mighty name, right? So I ended up having to have the rest of my appointments at an MFM facility. And so even at those appointments, everything still looked great. Baby was still growing and developing healthy. It was just that she had to come out earlier than what was originally expected. And so I went in for my induction. But honestly, for me, it was a little better. I'm not going to hold you. For me, the idea of having a shorter pregnancy span was A-okay with me, okay? Because I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Let's get it out now. It's time. It's time for me to have my body back. It's time for me to sleep on my stomach again. So the idea of an induction actually wasn't that horrible to me. It was just the fact of it's high risk and a potential of a stillbirth. I went in for the induction. My husband was there. My mom was there. My sister, who's studying medicine, was there. And so they were there. I remember I had to get the Foley bulb inserted into my cervix. Worst pain I've ever experienced before the actual childbirth. Basically, it's a catheter. They insert it into your cervix and they fill it up with saline. And so it's supposed to kind of just like open and ripen your cervix. You want your cervix to open, okay? Pre-baby, you ain't never had no baby. Cervix is shut tight. It took a minute for my cervix to open, my body to really realize like, yo, you gotta loosen up. It's time to loosen up and bring forth life. And I'm not even gonna say loosen up. Time to ripen. That's what they say. Time to ripen up. Yeah, I went through this process for like 3 days. It was like a 3-day process. I will say I had an amazing OBGYN and midwife. Shout out to my OBGYN and my midwife. They were... child, they did it. They did it right. Black women. Shout out to black women. Shout out to black women in medicine. Shout out to you. Like, oh God. After that, after she inserted that, the contractions started to come more regularly. I was like, epidural, baby, epidural. I'm not trying to win no awards. Bro, even the epidural hurt. The epidural hurt. So it's like, y'all be like, oh, I don't want an epidural. The epidural hurt too. The anesthesiologist, he's putting, he like, don't move. Mind you, I'm having contractions like every few seconds. My contractions is hitting every few seconds. And he's like, don't move. I'm like, my contraction coming. I'm like, it's coming. He's like, okay, but I need you not to. I'm like, I need to, we did what we could with that. When he was able to get the anesthesia going through my spine and blocking all types of pain, I was good. I'm like, all right. I'm not winning no awards. You don't win no awards after you give birth, ladies. Nobody gives you an award. Here you go for not having no medication. Here you go for doing it vaginal. Here you go for... You don't win no awards. Your baby made it. You made it. We here to tell a story about it. That's the award. A win is a win. They were still waiting for my cervix to ripen. And it was like, it's not time yet. It's not time yet. I'm like, when is it time? Because I'm hungry. I want to eat. I want dinner. It was time to go. And it was the hardest thing I ever did. It was the hardest thing I ever did. They were saying, push, 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 counting me down. Hold your breath. Like, act like you're going to take a big dump. I'm like, oh, okay. When I say I'm pushing to my max, I was pushing to my max, couldn't push no more, and they still telling me to push. And so I remember them just saying, keep pushing, we see the head. But it's like the head will come out and go back, the head, like as you're pushing, and then once you stop pushing, it kind of, the muscles contract and you come back in. God, how am I supposed to do this? And then if you don't do it in a certain amount of time, they gotta wheel you over and get a C-section. I'm like, God, how am I supposed to? So now I'm pushing and my midwife is like, stop pushing. I'm like, I heard her say, stop pushing, stop. I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, stop pushing. My body was just trying to like eject, like pushing. I just kept pushing. Then I hear her scream, shoulder. I didn't know what that meant. But she screamed shoulder and I just closed my eyes. I kept pushing. So they later told me that when she screamed shoulder, everybody ran in, nurses, other doctors, everybody ran in to help her. I did not see any of this stuff. I'm like this. So I ain't hear none of that. What they told me was that everybody ran in. So what they said was the reason why she said stop pushing is because my baby started turning. As I was pushing her out, she started turning and then she turned to where her shoulder was here by the opening. And when I pushed, her shoulder was basically getting stuck. I don't know what she did. It felt like, I don't know if this actually happened, but it felt like, and I asked them, I said, is her hand inside of me? It felt like her hand was inside of me to take my baby. It was, and I have the videos in my phone and I still have yet been able to see the videos. But in all of that, my baby made it. I made it. And she put my baby on my chest. I'm like, oh my God, I feel my baby. She like this. Bro, next thing you know, She's not crying. Whoop, took the baby up, put her over there in the incubator. She's not crying. I look up, I'm like, huh? She's not crying. Why is she not crying? They suction, my mom said they suction the water out of her lungs. Next thing you know, oh, the most beautiful sound. I said, my baby is here. Can't believe it. Oh, God. I had a baby, Bella. I had a whole entire baby. Like, oh, God. I look over. And my husband is on the chair, out of breath, huffing and puffing, drinking water, sweaty. I said, what happened to you? What happened to you? Everybody started laughing. They were like, listen, most dads pass out, so he did good. He's like, ooh, drinking water. And so they say the second baby is not as hard. They say the second pregnancy is not as hard. They say the second delivery is not as bad. But I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not at the point yet where I want to test that theory. I'm not at the point yet where I want to see and I want to know if the second is easier. Shout out to the women that have multiple children, because for the fact that you went through childbirth the first time and said, you know what, I'm going to do that again and again and again and again and again, and you're keeping the population going. Shout out to you. I can't say that that's my journey and my story. I can't say that we doing that again. And then on top of raising these kids, I'm raising my daughter the right way. On top of raising them the right way, I don't sleep, y'all. Like me looking like this is a blessing. I'm blessed and highly favored to have a village, right? But when they say when you have children, it's not about you no more. For a certain amount of time, it's not. I will say I don't think it's like that forever, but especially if you're a stay-at-home mom, like you're with your child all the time, it's always about them, and that's okay. Like, that's okay with me. People be like, you need to go get your nails done, you need to go do your hair, you should buy new clothes. I'll be like, but I just saw some cute stuff for my baby. And so yes, that is my induction and delivery story. Let me know your induction and delivery stories down in the comment section. Let me know how many kids y'all got. I be seeing y'all with mad kids. I want to know how. But you know what? I never really had a high tolerance of pain anyway, but that's not even like pushing out a baby out of your vagina. It's not even about pain tolerance. Like, that's not even about pain tolerance. That's life or death. Like you're facing death in the face and you're saying, it's okay. I could continue to do that. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to women. Shout out to all the moms. Let me know if you like this type of content. If you want to hear more mommy content, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you at the next one. Later.